Mysteries on Pause. On a quiet night, Emiliano, a vain and homely cat, escapes from his owner's hands and ventures out on a stroll through the neighborhood in search of a new home. Finding an abandoned mansion. As he explores the dark interior of the mansion, he will face the series of the frightening situations that will test his swagger.
A black mass moves in the darkness. The noise catches Bero's attention. He opens the door and hears Klaus staring at his favorite blanket. In the distance, he sees a shadow. From the dark body seem to emerge spikes pointing in all directions. Its yellow eyes glow in the room, and from its snout he sees sharp fangs peeking out of the dark fur. He flips the switch with his hand and there is no more shadow. "There you are, Emiliano," the boy shouts. Bero walks over to one of the shelves and looks reproachfully at Emiliano. He asks him to stop throwing his things. Emiliano thinks the little human is annoying. He thinks he can tell him what to do and, offended, decides to find another territory. He leaves the house and walks around without finding anything. They are all houses similar to Bero's, small and ugly. Emiliano wants something better, something worthy of being his. On the verge of giving up, the cat finally finds a house he had never seen before. It is big and impressive. "That's my mansion," Emiliano thinks. He looks up and thinks he should climb, but changes his mind when he sees a rat coming out of a hole in the bushes. Emiliano climbs through the same hole and manages to get in. Everything is full of dust. He enters with some reservation because of the bad smell. Besides, he hears a tss coming from the shadows of a room. No sooner does he step inside when he sees from afar a silhouette 10 times his size jump in his direction. He tries to retreat it, but the door closes behind him.
He jumps back as he lets out a meow of terror. Panicked, he looks in all directions until he notices a small space between the corners of the walls. Without paying attention to anything, he runs toward it and escapes from the room. Tap, 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 tap. He hears footsteps chasing him. He doesn't know what to do. He's terrified, but he doesn't want to regret his decision so soon. Tap, 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 tap. It hears closer. So the cat decides to go upstairs and hide in the bathroom. This time it's a word that rumbles. Emiliano jumps again, but calms down when he realizes the sound is coming from his stomach. He's hungry. His last meal was before he left, and he eats every 20 minutes. Beto always complains about it. The sound his belly makes motivates him to forget his fear, and he decided to explore the house further. The next room is the living room, and it is impressive. He just has to find a human to clean it for him. When he decides to go up to the next floor, he feels a presence behind him. He turns around and for the third time almost dies of fright. A transparent cat floats in front of him. Emiliano jumps, ashamed of being coward. He stands firm again and the ghost approaches. "My name is Whiskers," he says. The ghost asks him what he is doing there. When Emiliano finishes talking about his great idea of looking for a new house, Whisker looks at him sadly and tells him his story.
Whisker could have loved to have a padded bed and chair to feed him every day. He still remembered the cool of the alley and the pride he made for food to every human he encountered. "Your human loves you, Emiliano. Don't waste it," Whisker told Emiliano. Emiliano turned his back on him with his tail erect, ignoring everything has his stomach growled from hunger. He's touched, but doesn't want to accept it. Whisker approaches again and nudges him a little, playfully piercing apart with his weakness. How about this? If you help me something I lost years ago here, I'll show you where there's free food. The word food instantly makes Emiliano's hair perk up. So he accepts the deal and begins his search for the lost hockey. He walked toward the house with a slow step.
He comes down and decides to follow it, but loses the trail in one of the rooms. It's the attic of the house, full of bedding and old furniture. Just as he is about to leave, he hears a soft sound that makes him breathe all over, as if someone is calling him. Tss, quiet. Tss, again, closer. Emiliano turns his head toward that sound with fright. It comes from the window, a shattered round at high speed, first to the left, then to the right. He looks down and sees a toy by the wall. As he's about to grab it, something black jumps at him. Emiliano flinches and drops to the ground. He hears a sound like a squat. A top sound, and he stands up. He's looking a bear. It's a cow smiling on a chair. Silly bear, Emiliano thinks, and takes the toy between his teeth. It's a quiet kitty. Downstairs is Whisker and a large mountain of food. They made a good deal and exchanged gifts. Whisker looks sadly at his push kitty and he begins to disappear. His eyes are the last thing Emiliano sees. He hears a thank you. Emiliano decides to grab the bag of food and take it with him. He will eat somewhere else. Beto must be waiting for him with dinner, but the bag will keep him full on the way at home. Hi, my name is Sofia Rodríguez, and for the project, I wrote the story and I made the shadow puppet. Everyone in the team helped to record the puppet play. First, with the story. I wrote the story with a friend. Her name is Jara Kelly, and we wrote the story for a literature class. Kelly was my classmate, so she heard the story and she liked it. Kelly told the idea for the project, and then she told us the idea of making a puppet play, and everyone accepted. Now, for the shadow puppet, I bought pañolensi in black color, and then I made a mold in a piece of paper. Next, I cut the pañolensi following the instructions in the mold, and I sew everything, and finally I did the eyes with pañolensi but in yellow color. For the story, first I wrote the stories in Spanish. With my team, translated the story. For that reason, literature is connecting with any language. You can write or translate a story in Spanish, English, Japanese, Portuguese, any language, and you can learn reading. You can learn with reading. It's more interesting. It's more interesting to read a story and learn from it. Because of that, literature is a good way to learn languages. Thank you.
For this project, the correct management of English was a key in the meaning of a tale. We can make storytelling without making sense of what's created before, so it's required a lot of previous research and study. In the literary field, it's important to learn a new language, in this case, English. And it's important because there's countless words that are not translated, even though the translations themselves don't fully cover what is.
I was interested in this project because we go away from just the reading part and also socialize with the craft, with the other scenario signature activities, uh, uh, creating puppets. In my case, I created a ghost, a cat ghost, in my part. Created this activity, this project made me see how the history, the language can a story change. Of course, created these scenarios and puppet. We also working in the part the reading because Shane change and transforming this part this history in one language and another. In this case, in a scenario with puppets. Because the puppet can be used in this case to explain a history, analyze context literate about the literature, maybe explore different narrative.
Hi, I'm Kelly, and for the project I made the scenario and the stage for the puppets, and I used a few colors and mixed it to get another colors. And well, I think for this project English is important because we get a story which was writing in Spanish, and we translate it, and I think it's a way to like experiment the translate between these two language, Spanish and English, and it's a new advantage because we are doing something that we it's not coming to do it, and it's important too the English in literature because for that way we know we can learn about other cultures, other artists, other writers, and we can too get out our stories outside our place, outside of the speaking Spanish world.